Don't wait. You are enough.
Granddaddy knew the place. His first business sign was painted by Muhammad Ali's daddy.
I think one of my talents, bro, for real, is just spreading good energy.
Great conversation is just good for the heart, good for the soul.
The bad days is what make me who I am, with the music and the wisdom, the knowledge, shit, man. You gotta go through something to even talk about something, bro.
We're back with another one. ODD, POD. It's your boy, MARC.
RASHID, Pod Rashid, you know.
We ain't gonna make our guest keep up the rhyme scheme, but we have something different. Other guys who know a thing or two about ladders, but they're not in construction. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
JB Thunder.
Follow full-time golden.
And tell the audience.
Excited about this one.
You're right, exactly. And tell the audience just what we're talking about today.
Wrestling.
JB Thunder told me there was a podcast and you want to be a part of it.
Hey, appreciate it. But we talking all wrestling, baby. Yep. All wrestling. This is what we teased it many times before, but we finally got some guests, y'all. So one time for them, Rashid, get it started.
Yep. Y'all know, if you've been following iPod, I'm a big wrestling fan. So learned about JB Thunder, him wrestling. I was like, yeah, I got to get him on there because like you said, it's a first of a kind. We ain't did wrestlers before. I personally don't even know anyone else that actually wrestles. So let's go ahead and get into it. I was watching, just on the build up to this, just some of y'all's YouTube videos, some of your wrestling matches, some promos and stuff. So that's where I kind of gathered my information. I was watching Apollo versus Mike Hayes in OVW. I think it was 7 or so years ago. It looks like Mike at the end got a little salty. Match ended in a no decision. But Apollo, do you still wrestle with OVW?
No, my time at OVW has passed. I mean, it was the times that I spent there. I spent more than one time there. That's actually where I got my start at. I began my training there, and things didn't go out the way I had planned when I first started training there, and I had to go other places to get more training. But I enjoyed coming back to OVW. It's been it's a dream come true for me. I've wrestled for Danny Davis, and then after when Al Snow took over, I was there for that too.
Who are you currently with as a promotion? Do you kind of indie and you just go around?
Right now, me and Jay are working for Grindhouse that's out of Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I heard about that through JB Thunder. He was telling me a little bit about that. How can we check those matches out? Are they online, or do you guys stream or something?
Actually, you can go and check out grindhouse.com. And they have all our matches, but also on YouTube. So if you want to check out Grindhouse on YouTube, you can see, they go back quite a while. That I was actually at Grindhouse before Jay came over. So definitely come check it out. We go back. You can see matches from a young Billy Starks when she was there, past OVW stars like Raul Lamada and Ruby Switchblade. Grindhouse has had a lot of guys come through.
For the audience, Billy Starks, she's on AEW currently. 19, 20, she went to Atherton. So I know a lot of the audience will know Atherton High School. When I found that out, that's pretty cool. She has televised matches on AEW. Grindhouse is producing some people, some players. So that's pretty cool. And then JB Thunder, like I said, I found out about Grindhouse through you, and then I was on the website. I didn't find the matches, but I'm definitely gonna go back and look. Why did you choose, I guess, to go to Grindhouse to wrestle?
Because they're one of the best indies in the area, and I feel like me and Apollo are one of the best tag teams in the area, so it was just a natural mix.
Okay, let's talk about the tag team.
Yes.
What's the name? What do you call yourselves?
HNIC.
I love that name, especially for Black History Month.
Right. That's the Black History. That's the Black History part. Head, you know what, in charge for people who don't know. Yes, sir. Head nigga in charge. That is. I told my mama about that. She thought that was hilarious. So how'd y'all choose that name? Did the world choose that name for y'all, or did y'all choose that name? How'd that happen?
Actually, JB came up with the name.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think it's dope. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's dope.
Yep. Especially seeing, well, I think it was 5-Star Wrestling. And this is just observation. The match y'all had against Big Country, it looked like a pretty white crowd, just to be blunt. So I just thought it was so funny that y'all
Watching
like
it at HNIC.
walking into this building, right? And
Yes,
they're
sir.
like, "This is HNIC." Like that's pretty cool,
I don't know why. I feel like get them riled up.
right? It adds to
Plays into the
I don't know if
aesthetic.
everything. Were y'all in that match? Were y'all heels? Were y'all
That's
the
the
baby
funny thing
faces?
about it. We were not heels that tonight. Yeah, that's the point of our careers.
Okay.
We have not been here.
That's wild.
That's wild,
They inverted it all. They didn't even know how to feel.
right?
That was fun.
And in the episode, so basically the head niggas in charge walked into this place as the people to cheer. So, and then a nice clip that I saw as well, JB Thunder pulled Apollo off a ladder and then climbs the turnbuckle, suplexes the guy
Right.
through the same ladder.
Right.
I done watched that clip, I don't know, 20, 30 times already. Like, what were you thinking, JB, like leading up to that? Like, you willing to put your body on the line just
That's
to
what
get
I
a
was about to say.
win? Like,
Oh, just to
He
get a
said
win.
Justin. He said
No,
get a win.
I am willing to do stuff like that to get a win, to protect my partner.
I feel that. That's a dangerous man to get in the ring with.
Me and JB are family, so we are always going to go out of our way to
Okay.
protect the other person.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Marcus, so I understand.
It's
I
real.
understand.
It's not a storyline. It's real. That's what you try to
Right.
tell people. It's not a storyline.
In the ring, in life.
Right.
So I understand. So we're gonna go ahead. This is first off, where y'all from?
Well, I'm from here in Louisville,
Okay.
but I spent a lot of time in Central.
What about you, Apollo? I'm
I
sorry.
was out of Bowling Green area, Munfordville.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm aware.
So interesting question. Most of our guests are from Louisville. We always ask this: what high
You
school
know-
did you all go to? It's just a thing in Louisville. You got to know.
I went to Doss High School.
Okay.
Shout out the Dragons.
I went to Iroquois.
All right.
Where's Iroquois?
Iroquois and
Raiders?
Doss.
Yeah.
You say
I
where?
think so.
You say where is
What's
Iroquois?
like that?
No, I said what is Iroquois? I was like, are they the Raiders or something? I can't
Yeah, the
remember what
Raiders.
Okay, that's what I thought. I know I wasn't tripping. Okay. Shout out. Now, did y'all's love for wrestling, did it start in high school? Did y'all wrestle in high school? Did it start earlier than that? Where's y'all's roots, Where's that start?
As a kid, I never watched wrestling. And then one day, a buddy of mine came over and we were watching Saturday morning cartoons. Once the cartoons went off, I was ready to go outside and goes, "No, let's watch wrestling." I'm like, "Wrestling? What's that?" I had never bothered to watch it, had no idea. Channel 3 wrestling came on, and I think immediately I fell in love with it. Right after that, I wrestled in high school, and I also wrestled a little amateur after that.
Okay. What about you, JB?
I've
Yeah.
always been a wrestling fan for as long as I can remember. It was
Okay.
maybe 1973 that I started watching wrestling, and I was hooked from the beginning. That's what I wanted to do.
Do you have like a first wrestler like that you can remember, or like a first match, or like even just a company of the time?
Well, I grew up on Memphis wrestling, the area with Jerry Lawler made big. But my
Okay.
first favorite wrestler was actually Bill Dundee, the superstar. I saw him wearing those Elvis Presley jumpsuits, and I said, I want to do that.
Which is funny because
That's-
first was building me. And I could relate to him because I was one of the smallest kids in the neighborhood. And here's this little guy who
Okay.
was knocking everybody down and winning these matches and coming out of nowhere. I was instantly hooked. But then the more I watched wrestling, I saw Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson. And now I'm looking at wrestlers that look like me. And people are cheering for me, they're yelling for me. And that's what really, I had to do this.
All right.
Like me and Rashad, like we've got some infamous stories of wrestling. We broken banisters in this. Shout out, Mr. Rodney. Yeah, our amateur days were over after that. But do y'all have any just funny, ridiculous stories or just anything you could think on where it was like, yeah, I need to go ahead and get in the ring because mom ain't gonna keep having this. Dad ain't gonna keep having this.
Well, most of our wrestling, was usually outside when we were kids. Now, I remember one time, actually, we weren't even little kids. I was closer to my teenage years. We were wrestling in my room. One of my buddies shot on the other one, drove him backwards, and his ass went through the drywall in my room. So I didn't want my mother to
Yeah,
hit
see,
my wall.
see.
So I hung up a poster, and the poster was somebody's ass saying, "Just say no to crack." My mother didn't find that room no longer, and she was moving out of the house to go to college. We talking about a hole in the wall hidden for 4 years. And then my mother's yelling at me over the phone. I'm at U of L, and she's yelling at me that there's holes in the walls of her house. The room's not going to tell me.
He didn't find
That's funny.
somebody who could do drywall in time. He could, we'll blame it on that. What about you, JB? Can you top it?
No, probably not. But no, me and my brother, we used to wrestle around when we were kids a lot. In our room, in the basement, outside, and one day I threw him off the porch.
My goodness. Any broken bones?
Right.
No,
That's what's but.
no,
Oh, well,
it
yeah.
Okay.
was in the grass.
Yeah, he's still bendy. He was bendy. You young,
But
you bendy.
actually, my brother, growing up, taught me a lot of the holds and moves in wrestling,
Okay.
and
Shout
he
out,
wasn't
big
half
bro.
as big a fan as me.
Like he said, me, him, we have another friend, pretty big guy. We broke the they broke the banister, but
Right,
it
we
was at
did.
my house. So my dad blamed me for not taking care of my stuff. Another time, that same guy I'm
That's not
talking
funny.
about, shout out to Nick. Nick, I'm just playing the video game. I pause it to get up. He just spears me through my own bed. Broke just
it.
like a table in real life. My bed's broken, and my dad was like, "Oh, you're gonna sleep on that bed for a week because you don't know how to take care of your stuff." And then the last one, speaking of drywall, my brother, I was walking down the steps. He said something that made me mad, so I ran back up, pushed him. Big hole in the wall. We tried to put a mirror over it to hide it, but we got in trouble anyways. I'm definitely familiar with just wrestling, doing stuff we shouldn't have been doing, but it is what it is. I have fun.
That's wild. Moral of the
Right.
story, it sounds like, is don't wrestle at your own house.
And real quick, before we go further, I saw this clip as well of both of you entering the Rumble.
Mm.
Paulo says he's getting in it. He's
Talk
going to win
about
it.
it.
JB comes up, confronts him, kind of like, well, I'm in it too. So, I mean, what we going to do? It seemed like a little turmoil in HNIC. What's going on with that?
Family feud.
And family always disagrees, but in the end, we're still family at the end of the day.
Okay. I had to make
Okay.
sure.
I'm just making sure. We need
Jeff,
some.
We've been together 23 years now.
okay.
Yeah. It happens. You fight with your brother sometimes. Me and my brother, we get competitive. We'll start arguing. Me and Marcus on the court, if we on different teams, it is what it is. We want to win.
What it
So
is.
I understand.
You know, it's for the win.
Right. By the way, who won the Rumble?
Actually, a masked man by the name of the Grindhouse Goon actually won the Rumble.
Okay. I seen it happen on January 25th. That was fairly recent. That's pretty cool then, but no, I understand. So you kind of talked about, or both of y'all kind of talked about what drew y'all into wrestling. Where did you all get y'all's names from? I guess once you decided, hey, I want to do this. Do you all have your first initial name, or did you kind of change it as time went on?
When I broke into it, I had so many ideas that I wanted to do, and nothing really stuck. I was a bouncer at a nightclub, and I was standing on a podium. I was probably one of the shorter bouncers there, so I could actually see over the room. Another security guard was actually taller, who was standing beside me, and we're looking over the room. A buddy of mine walks up and goes, "Man, y'all look like Zeus and Apollo standing on Mount Olympus." And from there, Apollo stuff.
Okay. One of those aha moments, like, that's it.
That's it.
Right. Eureka.
What about you,
Me-
JB?
JB is my initials, and Thunder just comes from the sound I want to make when I slam somebody to the ground.
Okay. Simple to the point. I like it though. I like it. So it brings me to the question then, how did y'all meet and then decide, hey, we want to become the head niggas in charge? Like, how did that come about?
Funny thing about it was that Tuesday night wrestling, we were always there together. You know, kids that going to Tuesday night wrestling, we ride the bus to Louisville Garden. You know, that's like 20, 30 kids on the bus. We're all hanging out, joking, you know, living in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was wrestling until I was actually training someplace else. And the guys who ran the company said, man, they got this guy coming in by the name of J.D. Thunder. And he's a shooter. And, you know, he's dangerous. He's going to put you in the ring with him. And, you know, he don't play. He's no nonsense. We actually had, 2 matches, and then we realized we were better as a team than we were fighting each other.
Okay. Because I was just wondering that, like, did y'all break in together or, like, meet along the way? But, okay. So, y'all been doing it how long for each of you, wrestling?
Right.
Together, it's been almost 25 years. I've been right around 32.
So, you've made a lot of, I'm sorry. You saying something?
I've been in about 34 years now, going on 34 to 92.
Older than, longer than we've been alive. Let's just say
That's
that.
crazy. Wrestling is life, literally, bro. He's
This
got
is
a
the
whole
longest
separate
job I've
life
ever
in
had.
wrestling. That's dope. That's dope
That's
for real. I ain't
impressive.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
That is, and that's doing anything. If somebody said they was married that long, people would be like, you feel me? Like anything, doing anything, and then wrestling on top of that. Hey, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, dedication.
Yeah, right.
Because it's not easy.
And it's real love, though. It sounds like it's real love.
Right, passion. So y'all have had more than a couple decades of memories made. What is like each of your favorite, I guess, match or just like a moment in a match that just like sticks out that you think about all the time?
Or moments. It doesn't have to be one. So
I think one of my favorites is we had just started the team, and they had us booked out of town. Now he had been to the promotion before, and it was my first time. Now, if you know anything about my partner, he doesn't talk a whole lot, and I seem to be the mouthpiece of the team. This is actually one of the few times he actually spoke. Now I'm standing behind the curtain, and he's out, and he's introducing me, and they can see my silhouette. So I know I'm getting pumped, I'm getting jacked. He's describing me to the crowd, and you know, he's like 6 foot, 260 pounds from Cabrini Green in Chicago. And I'm back in my head, I'm laughing hysterically, man. I'm 5'9". I'm barely at the time 210 pounds.
he said
soaking wet.
Cabrini Green.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild.
When I came out, the crowd goes crazy, but I'm like, you know, if they stood right beside me, they realize how tall I actually am. You know, because
Right.
you know, there's like a ramp going to the ring, so now like we're up above everybody else, and you know, and I'm like, you know, I have never been so pumped up in my life because, you know, one, it's actually one of the first few times I was out of town, someplace else, you know, doing this, and plus with the crowd, it was probably one of them. It stands out in my mind to this very day. It was one of my favorite times, you know, with me and him being together.
Okay.
That's dope.
One of my favorite times had to have been in Tennessee when we did a ladder match. We lost that match, but I mean that crowd was so crazy for us. I mean, we literally had people waiting in the arena until we were about to leave. And you're looking at maybe 45 minutes to an hour after the show was over, but they were still waiting for us.
Really?
For autographs and pictures and stuff like that. That never gets old.
I was about to say, does that get addicting? Like, honestly, just doing something you love, going in this arena, wherever you at, and I don't care if it's 100 people, 1,000 people, but just people cheering for you. Does that get addicting?
That's why I'm still doing it.
Yes. I was about to say, because you talked about you love wins, and you said in that when y'all didn't win that match, correct? Is that what you said?
Yes.
But after that response, did that feel like a win?
Yeah, I mean, it really does, because when you walk out that curtain, or as it was down there, when our music hit and that crowd popped,
Really?
that gets that adrenaline flowing.
Now, wrestling, where all has it taken y'all? Because you've mentioned a couple places. Where all has it taken y'all?
We cut most of our teeth in the Tennessee area.
Okay.
When we came up, Tennessee was the hotbed.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, singles wise, I've gotten to travel a little West Virginia, other parts, towards Chicago and all that. But, when we were coming up, Tennessee was it.
Okay.
Tennessee was the Mecca, the hotbed. And
Okay.
I think, at one time, every other week, we were driving 4 hours to hit, at the time, it was a really great town, Cookeville, Tennessee.
There you
Cookeville is
go.
in the smack of nowhere. But I mean, it
Okay.
was packed. Every Saturday that they had a show, it was packed.
That's
And they
great.
loved us.
Now, what were y'all fighting? Were y'all just independent at the time?
There were several companies in there that we worked for. One company was called Middle Tennessee Wrestling Association.
Okay.
They actually, some of the guys from there broke off, and they started a company called FTW, Fusion Traditional Wrestling.
Okay.
A couple of others we worked for down there, but I mean, one of my favorite stories was you were in a town called Eagles Erie, and to get out of the car, and the first thing someone says is, "We haven't seen your type in a long time down here."
HNIC?
But by the time we left, every person in the arena was screaming and cheering for us.
And you like, hey,
We won
That
them
gets
over.
yeah, hey, right. That's a testament to y'all too, man. Testament to y'all.
No. It's cool. It's cool. This is interesting. And you just named a few different promotions. Have either of you held gold in any promotions or any tag team championships?
Somebody made the joke one day, and we actually counted it. We are 80-plus tag team champions over the span of the time that we have been together.
I ain't gonna lie. I
Wow.
didn't expect that. I swear, I did not
I
expect
did
that.
not.
We count the number of companies we haven't held championships in compared to the number of times we've held championships in other companies.
I
Okay.
mean, there was a time that we literally held tag team title in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana at the same time.
Tri-state champions.
Right.
That's dope. That's crazy.
When you're the champion, you got to carry that belt everywhere, right? Like, it's not like the promotion or someone takes that for you. It's like, no, this is your property. I got to take care of it and make sure it gets to the next place, right?
Like we always say, when you get that belt, it's in your bag. When you lose that belt, the first thing you say is, that's one less thing I got to carry. But when a company is trusted to be their champions, and we've held singles belts, we've held tag belts.
Mm-hmm.
A company puts that on your back because they think so highly of you. And that's just, once again, that's another adrenaline rush, because somebody said put in their mind, these guys are what's bringing the people in.
Right.
A lot of times people tell you, "Oh, that belt don't mean nothing. It's just a prop, whatever." But when you look at it and somebody is telling you they've entrusted their company in you, you're putting butts in the seats, then it obviously does mean something. If
Right.
somebody tells you they don't want to be heavyweight champion, they don't want to be tag team champions, they're whatever champion in the world, they're lying to you. Everybody wants to be the best at whatever it is they do.
Right.
That's right. It's more its own principle. It's my own principle. And that belt, like you said, is more of a representation of how your status in the company, like you said.
I'm going to get into just a little bit of what you said and then kind of slide to something else. So I explain to people all the time that, like, they're like, "Oh, it's scripted. So, like, does the championship matter?" I'm like, it's like you just said, this company, like, regardless of whatever you want to say about it, trusted this person to be their champion. Like, there's their top person. That means that they respect their wrestling. They respect, like, oh, they're going to protect the other wrestlers. Like, this is
Right.
the model guy. Like, so
Right.
I understand what you're saying. And then I also I find myself arguing with people a lot, and I legitimately mean arguing, that they use the word fake. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I'm like, you couldn't even finish a match anyways. But how do y'all feel about that when people say that? Like, wrestling's fake.
After so many years,
That's what, yeah.
What can I tell you? My concussions aren't fake.
Mm,
The sounds my knees make when I get up every morning aren't fake.
mm,
When my wife sees me injured and I'm bent over walking and I, can't play with my grandkids, that's not fake.
mm,
So, and like you said, if somebody tells me that's fake, get in the ring with me. I'm not even put my hands on me. Run the rope. Take a back bump. Because I'm
mm.
going to tell you something else. You can't fake falling. Because it's not the fall that gets you, it's the sudden stop at the end. So when you hit the mat or you hit the concrete, was that fake? I mean,
Mm.
did the concrete give for you?
Mm.
When I've fallen off a ladder or when I've dove off a ladder, was that fake? When he's had to take me to the hospital, was that fake?
I
After all
agree.
these years, I let it, once again, if you want to think it's fake, get in the ring with me.
Open challenge.
Open challenge. We'll put it
I
on.
agree. This is why,
We'll put it on.
no, for real. And I literally try to tell people that. I'm just like, first off, like I said, you couldn't even finish a match. Secondly, these wrestlers at the end of their careers, like, how are you gonna call it fake when you hear the
The
stuff
wear
you
and
just
tear.
named?
When you talk about the wear and tear and accumulation.
What's fake about that?
And and the
That sounds like
sacrifice.
any other athlete to me.
Right. Not any, and I'm not gonna say that. Not any other. I'm putting them up pretty high.
Right. It's a different type of wear and tear. I almost started I almost started the wet chants while you was doing it. It felt like a promo.
Yeah, after all these
Okay.
years, I listen to a promo every once in a while when I start talking to people. So yeah.
Probably just naturally talking promo sometimes without
Promo mode.
even realizing it.
Right.
Okay. What was it like training? Like to be a wrestler? That first initial time that you really stepped in the ring with someone that was like on the ropes, like,
Yeah. First
take
time
a
in the
bump.
first time in the ring.
We came up different, but we came up different. This is when we came up, before you did anything, you ran those ropes and you ran those ropes constantly. And when they felt as if you were ready for something else, then you started bumping. Now, if that don't break you, now we'll start going into other things.
Much more old school approach.
I've heard that often too. Right.
In comparison to, and that's in almost all sports though. Like it's like basketball. You ain't touching the basketball until you can get in shape and you can do the fundamentals of your footwork is this. You ain't touching no basketball till then. Cause the game, it ain't about basketball. You know what I'm saying? It feels like he's saying the same thing from the wrestling standpoint. It's like, you can't run these bumps. You can't run these ropes. I don't even know why you're here, Playboy.
Exactly.
Right. That's the fundamental. You can't do this, you
I
can't
don't think
wrestle.
so.
Like it just is what it is.
But that makes sense to me, man. That makes sense to me totally. Do you feel like, in comparison, since you've seen so much, that because we'll get into this later, but just on this specific point, that the game's changed in that aspect, that you don't see that as much with the youth?
Fortunate for me, with Grindhouse, it's still old school.
Okay.
It's still, you need to learn these fundamentals before you do anything else. And there are, it's different. Danny Davis got beat up every day before they even let him train. And he would tell me this. He would remind me of this thing, that when he broke into the business, they beat the crap out of him every day and see if he would come back. So when they had us running the ropes and constant, and it's like, when am I going to do something else? It was that same mentality. How long is he going to keep doing this? Either A, he's going to stick with it, or B, he's going to quit.
When I broke in, there weren't a lot of schools. So you had
Okay.
to actually find somebody that was willing to train you. They would do everything in their power to get you to quit. If you didn't quit, you may make it. But now, I mean, There's schools all over the place now, and a lot of them are good schools.
What's up?
So your training was similar to what Apollo was saying, like you gonna run these ropes until you quit, or we might move you to the next part.
Until you throw up, then you run some more. Yes, yes. I
The
mean,
old school.
when I first thought about breaking in, I was thinking that, yeah, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get in the ring, and we're gonna spar and blah 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 blah. Nope, nope.
Right, I was about to say, if y'all remember how long?
Wow. That's the beauty of it. Even after all these years, we're still learning. We still have to evolve with everybody else. I wish I could give you this great story, fairy tale story that, oh man, after a couple months, I was ready to do whatever. Let's just say it. Life caught up with me. And, I made some bad decisions and I didn't get to, it didn't happen overnight. I had to do a lot of training. I had to, go from one school, not even a school, one company to the next and prove myself by training with them. A lot of these companies didn't have schools. You train before the show. You put the ring up, you train, you tear the ring down, you load it back up, you take it wherever it is, and you learned on the fly. And I laugh about it now because I don't see a lot of people being able to do that in these days because there was no school atmosphere at some companies I worked for. It was simply put the ring up, we'll train, show's over, tear the ring down, and let's go.
And that's every show.
Right.
Hold on. So literally tear the ring down and put it up.
Yep.
So like that's funny.
Yep.
It's not funny, but it's just from people who just casual and just, I consider myself so in that casual area to some degree, but it's like it's the way it's broken in and everything. Does all that make it seem like a fraternity? Because you're describing more of like a boot camp or an initial, like, not even rush week. I don't know what I'm thinking of with the fraternities.
It is a fraternity. And, when I was in college, I pledged a fraternity. And it's, yes, I mean, this is a brotherhood. This is a family. I'm going to protect this business. I'm going to protect the people in this business because this is our family. This is something that we fell in love with as kids. And, our entire, let's just say it. Our entire adult lives, this is all we've probably ever done. I've spent more time with him than past relationships. At our peak, we were in the car going somewhere every weekend. Then the weekends turned into an extra day during the week, which is, funny and sad at the same time. Like I said, we cut our teeth in the Tennessee area. While most guys we knew were still wrestling up here in this area, we were getting in the car going to Tennessee. And that's more than one company. Like I said, every other week we were doing that one show in Cookeville, but then the opposite weeks we were working for another company in Nashville. So every weekend I'm in the car with him. And sometimes that's more than one show a weekend, like double shots, triple shots, somebody comes up with the brainiac idea, hey, I found us a show on Sunday, let's go do it. So the people you meet along the way, yes, they become family. This is a fraternity. This is a family. This is a brotherhood. The people that you spend this much time with, you're going to take care of them, and hopefully they reciprocate and they take care of you as well.
It seems like that would make y'all's partnership, y'all's brotherhood, I mean, even that much more of actually what it is. With that being the case, do you find
nothing fake about it, basically?
Right. Do you find right? That's what I feel like. Do you find that the grind of the business, like, do you find other people like y'all? Is it like, not from that standpoint, but like, is that like the standard of tag teams, or is there some people who just like, we just meet up here, we just do this? Do you feel like it just comes with it, or do you feel like, no, this is like a real, this is something like realer than that, I guess, It just translates to the ring.
You got to think back in, it used to be like back in the day, there was no thing for 4 or 5 of us to jump into the car together. And, it was like-minded people going to a show, working on our craft, it takes a special kind of crazy to want to do this as long as we have.
Right.
You attract
Definitely.
like-minded people who want to do the exact same thing you want to do.
Right.
But one thing for sure, we came up with a lot of ideas for ourselves while traveling on the road. As a matter of fact, most of our best ideas we came up with while lost on the road in the days before GPS.
So y'all both were y'all good at reading maps. Y'all had to be. I have no choice. And
Man, he had
getting turned around in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Had this huge map book, and then he would print something out on the computer, and I mean, so many pieces of paper in the car.
That's hilarious.
Still make
That's
that wrong.
hilarious.
Do you still make that one wrong turn?
Yep.
Right. That's
Of course.
that's why the GPS was so important. It wasn't good. That's me right there. I'm just like, man, you hit 7 in a row, but you mess up on 8, and next thing you know, it takes you 2 hours to get back to 9 and 10. And you're just like, oh gosh.
I mean,
Yeah.
a map will get you to the city, but it won't get you to the actual address.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
So that's why when I be trying to, tell my pops about something, oh, I know how to get there. I know how to get there. Then I'll be like, why are you 15 minutes late? Oh man, I missed the exit turn. I'm just like, hey dog. So now
We got GPS now.
Me and him getting lost, we would have never discovered 88 Kentucky. And how we found that is beyond.
88
What is
Kentucky.
that?
Yeah, city called
That's an
88.
actual town.
And that's me and him getting lost.
I gotta look that up. I don't know if I believe that. They might be tricking us on screen. Look it up. Not oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
We were at training basically. Y'all were talking about how tough that is and to get through there. Is there anybody that for each of you mentored you, was kind of like, hey, I see something special in him. I'm gonna, specifically kind of mentor this guy, or maybe the promotion where you were at, put you with this person or whatever.
Mine would have been Vic the Bruiser. It started out at OVW, and like I said, life caught up with me there, and I ended up going to other promotions. And amazingly, no matter where I went, he was there. Vic is a big name in the Kentucky area. After OVW, I went to a company called BBW, Bad to the Bone Wrestling. Vic was there.
Okay.
And I stuck with BBW for years. And learning from him. Like I said, we are constantly learning. But in my early years, it was definitely Vic the Bruiser. After that, where me and JB hooked up, was a company run by two brothers. They call themselves the Hellraisers. God bless their souls. They're not with us anymore. But they were truly the embodiment and the vision of what old school indie wrestling was. These guys were workers to the core. I don't think they ever had a day off. They were constantly working. If they working a show or they were working somebody. Those guys stood out to me.
I had a few guys talk to me, mentor me, or whatever. But some of the names I can throw in: Victor Bruiser, Tracy Smothers, Stephen Dunn, and Coco Ware. And like he said, the Hellraisers.
You said Coco Ware?
Yes.
Nothing to do with Coco Beware?
Who Beware.
That's it. Okay. All right. I was making sure it wasn't two different people. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
No, yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he pulled me and Apollo aside one night at a show just to give us a little what would you call it? Info? Just
a little lesson.
Yes.
Okay.
A lesson has stuck with us. It was, I guess, along the lines of remembering who we were.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where we were at, always remember who you are, and how sometimes folks will perceive that a different way.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that, especially by someone like a Coco Beware. This one,
y'all talked about helping with physical training, but who helps y'all with y'all's storylines, y'all's persona? Who, is that something that y'all study the greats and y'all study this, everything before you and you just do it that way? Or do you have input? Is it something that, yeah, as far as I'll go with that.
Any good persona should be almost a reflection of yourself. I've watched several of the greats, on TV, and, you see their mannerisms and you try to copy that, but ultimately the best representation and the best character is you. You know, your wrestling persona should be you. You know, don't get us wrong, we're not jumping out and beating people up randomly on the street, but when it comes to telling a story or how you talk, how you convey yourself, it should be a reflection of you.
Yeah.
When you see me in the ring, that's who I am.
Hmm.
So quiet, you know. And I mean, actually, outside the ring, I'm a lot shyer than I am inside the ring. But as far as our style goes, we've looked at guys like the Hart Foundation and the Midnight Express, and sort of went that direction with everything.
Okay.
That's a good guide. those two tag teams.
That was one of our questions.
And I've heard that before too, like the best gimmicks or characters, my bad. The best gimmicks or characters is the person just turned up a little more, you know, like, but it's you at the core of it. So it don't feel fake. It don't feel like you're in there playing a character. It's like, no, I am him. Like, it's me. There's no, instead of asking like, oh, what would my character do? It's like, what would I do? Like, this is what I would do. So
But
I've
that's why
heard
I
that
guess
for
maybe
sure.
that's what I was trying to get to earlier is like them talking about we're in the car, we're coming up with things. Some of our best things is when we get lost. It's like, and them not being in character, right? Them, that's really them. So it's like, I would think just me, I'd be like, it would be easier to draw or, whatever it would be with someone who like I'm always being myself with in the ring, out the ring, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. It's just like, if we're always doing that, it's like life imitates art, art imitates life. It starts becoming that.
Right.
Do you ever, okay, that's what I was about to say. You ever feel that way where it's like,
Let's go to some of like the big promotions. Obviously, I actually prefer AEW myself. So this is more of just like a personal question for me. Do either of you have a preference? Do you see like either the styles and like you're like, I like that, or you like, nah, that ain't for me.
right. I
I
feel
guess
wrong asking this on camera too. Like, I
I
don't,
guess you can say it's funny now. We've been a part of it for so long. We've watched it for so long. I turn it on and it's background noise.
mm,
I don't want to miss it, but am I really paying that much attention to it? You know, it's if I see something that catches my attention, yeah, you know, I'm gonna key in on it. You know, it's funny. I watch a lot of New Japan,
okay.
and I
Yes.
know for a fact I'm never gonna do any of that stuff. Like, if you power grab me, I ain't getting back up. You know,
The strong style.
there's
So
no
they
rank
call it
behind
strong
it.
style.
You drop me on my head, you know, it's probably where I'm gonna be laying at when you turn back around. You know,
Or,
I enjoy it. I guess each of these companies now, there's something about it that I'll watch that'll catch my attention. And, you know, it's just like I said, 9 times out of 10, it's usually background noise. And I'll glance up at it or, you know, something will catch my attention. But other than that, you know, I guess it's more of the individuals I like more than the actual overall show itself.
Okay.
makes sense.
I myself, I'm more AEW right now. AEW and NXT.
Okay.
Okay.
Not really into Raw or SmackDown, but I also spend a lot of time watching old wrestling clips on YouTube or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
Algorithm, you already know.
I compile a whole list of good matches on YouTube on like my little YouTube, so I can anytime I just feel like it, go watch that. But yeah, currently I'm heavy into AEW. I've been to a lot of their shows, that especially when they come around us. I am going to SmackDown when it comes on the 27th, just because my nephews wanted to go, so I'm gonna go with them. Yeah, WWE, and I grew up obviously a WWE fan. Like when I was young, that was like what was heavy. It was late '90s, early 2000s. So, but I I'm just speaking as a fan from myself right now. I don't really like the product right now.
It ain't hitting for me.
Like he said, I'm into New Japan. A lot of those New Japan wrestlers go to AEW and they kind of bounce back and forth. So, but yeah, I'm a real AEW fan. I was just want to talk about that for a second. Speaking of
Hello. I was just gonna say that's the only thing that keeps me in WWE is, the love for some of the actual characters themselves.
right.
But
I keep up with certain things, certain
right,
stories.
to not fall
but just
back.
overall, what's like the most dangerous match that each of you have competed in? Or maybe it's the same match since y'all tag a lot.
We've done cage matches. We've done ladder matches. We've done street fights.
Mm.
You know, being in this
weapons
business,
match.
yeah, being in this business, the danger is there regardless of whatever type of match
Yeah.
it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Word.
you're always that far from breaking your neck. So they're fun. They're entertaining. You know, I guess from our standpoint, we've never looked at the danger. It's what we're there to do.
No fear.
Can't do it well if you do have that in you.
Now, we've seen matches and shows that somebody did something and we're like, well, we're never going to do that.
Right.
Here's what we're not going to do tonight. You know, we were privy to watch a show once. We were actually on it. During the match, the guys got hit by a car. You know, and looking over at him, and I'm like, guess what we're not doing tonight? If we're in a car, we're going home. We're not getting hit by it.
That's crazy.
You can't fake getting hit by a car.
No,
right? I don't care how fast or
That's
slow.
right. That just show don't.
I mean,
I
actually,
don't know if even
What ended up happening to him? Was he all right? Like, come on, man.
well, the funny part about it was the guy that got actually hit by the car was a little bottom heavy. So he's trying to climb on the hood instead of rolling under it. So not only does he tear the ornament off the front of the hood, they slam on the brakes and then he goes flying across. So, you know, once again, we're not doing this, but that little kid in you wants to die, you know, is laughing hysterically, you know, from what we just
Right.
watched.
Man,
insane.
that's good.
I don't know if either one of you want to speak on this. It's just like bouncing off what you just said a little bit. Being in these dangerous matches, you have to trust even your opponent because, like, they got to protect you. Like you said, you ain't going over to New Japan and taking no power driver. Like, so I don't know if it's exactly a question, but if you just want to speak on, like, having to trust your opponent this close from breaking your neck with every move, like, that's terrifying almost.
Who do I trust in this world? I trust him. I trust that whoever I'm in the ring with is safe. I have no control over anything else. You know, I can control my bubble. Who do I trust? Him. Only, you know, once that bell rings, that's my back. And, you know, there are times when me and him weren't tagging together. And I was someplace and he was someplace, and you don't have that trust system. You know, so you're going to have to put your life in someone else's hand. And, you know, and I guess, you know, being spoiled because we're always together. You know, me and him can go days without speaking to each other and then pick up right where we left off at. You know, where are our brainstorming sessions? What do you want to do tonight? You know, and what's his response? Not get hurt. That's our plan for the night. Walk in and walk out the exact same way. You know, the trust has to be there. But like I said earlier, remember, you're always that close.
Mm-hmm.
So as a trust issue and as a safety issue, yes, I feel better when I know he's somewhere near me. Even if we're not on the same page, at the end of the day, we're still family. We're still going to take care of each other. You know, some of our best times were maybe not being on the same page and then forgetting why we weren't on the same page and just going about you know, for two of his children, me and him were on the road together and we're trying to coordinate how he's going to make it to the hospital on time. If I'm going to go with him and I'm still in gear, how are we going to do this? And, you know, two of his children were born and we were both at both times 4 hours away.
Oh, yeah.
I remember literally the wife was going into labor. He's slow rolling by my apartment. And at the time I lived on Dixie Highway. So not only the most dangerous road in the city, he is literally slow rolling just enough for me to get out of the car and so he can make it to the hospital. You know, if it ain't trust right there, I don't know what is. because we would do shows, and the first thing they wouldn't ask us is not how we're doing, is where's your partner at? Because I guess at the time, everybody knows that we're always together.
Right.
It's like we're a package deal.
I was wondering
Definitely.
because I'm like, Head Niggas in Charge. That sounds like a dope group name. I'm trying to hop in there, but it don't seem like there's no room for me. Seems like it's two's a crowd. No, that's dope. That's dope.
Do either of you have a dream match before, retire? If you want to even
Right.
use that word, because
Right.
I know wrestlers don't actually retire. They just, but any dream matches you can think of?
I mean, like I said earlier, my first favorite wrestler was Bill Dundee, and I've actually been in the ring with him. So I guess I would probably say before I do give it up, I would like to get in the ring with him, Apollo.
With
Definitely.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to see that one. And y'all have to invite us, bro.
I mean,
Y'all,
and we've had matches against each other, like
right.
before we started tag teaming. But I would like to do it now, because we've been tag teaming for a long time, and I think it's time to switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
He's right. I mean,
Anything to add, Apollo?
he's right. Who better? The person that who knows you better than anybody else. But does he know everything? He's taught me a lot, but has he taught me everything? On the same hand,
That's interesting.
he's seen me hit somebody, but has he ever felt me hit him?
Right. Right.
Yes, it would be a dream, because you're in there with someone who you respect.
Right.
We're brothers. We love each other. And, I know if it was a match, he would give me his all, because I'm going to do the exact same thing. Because regardless, we're both competitors and we both want to win.
And quite frankly, I think there's a whole lot of other people that this is their dream match too, to see us in the ring with each other.
Yeah.
There have been
I'm
a lot
bought
of
in.
persons that have said that.
No, I'm bought
Have
in
you
too.
two ever wrestled each other? How could we get you guys to wrestle each other? 9 times out of 10, the answer's always been no.
We got to put something on the line. We got to put something on the line. We got to find something about the crowd fund. We got to see this one. I feel like it's going to be dope, bro. How is it not going to be?
No, it will
How's
be.
it not going to be? The two people who know each other the best, this and that. You think it's not, and like you said, the love for wrestling is what brought them together. You think it ain't about to be at the forefront either? Come on, man. Come on.
It's still, I feel like, I believe in both of you all to step in the ring or give your best, but I relate a lot of stuff to myself, because that's just how I see the world. Let's say I'm fighting Marcus. It would be hard for me to give him my best blows. Like, it'll kind of be like a warning, but like, back up. But like, so I don't know. There's that element, like how
We're
you guys
competitors.
would. Okay.
We're competitors. I mean, it's like when I get in the ring, I'm trying to win,
Yeah.
no matter who I'm in there with, and he's the same way.
Understandable.
Two
Understandable.
dogs talking, Rashad.
Right. Let me back up.
Right. They're barking. Are y'all at the same place? I hope y'all not recording in the same place. See somebody slide from one slide to the other. Just do it. Just for somebody. That's what we need to do next time. Make them record in the same place. And
right. Record some promos. So, do either of you have like a signature move, a finisher move? Like, this man's taking everything I done gave him. I'm about to pull out the red button. Like, is there a move?
At this,
As a single, my signature has always been the pump handle slam.
Okay.
As a single, I think what I've used the longest was the full Nelson slam. Now that we've gotten older, we like to call it the element of surprise. We're not going to tell you what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're just going to do it.
Okay. I'm familiar with both moves, so definitely put somebody down. This is my last one. Marcus might have a little bit more after this. So this doesn't have to be in any order. It is Black History Month. Y'all are HNIC.
Yes.
So
we got it.
Could you give me 5 of your favorite or just most respected Black wrestlers of all time? It can be from whenever to present, whatever y'all want to do with that.
And it don't have to be in any order. Just
Yeah, whatever, just name
just 5.
about 5 of
Rocky Johnson, Coco Ware, Ron Simmons, Bobo Brazil, and Ernie Ladd.
solid list.
Ooh, big. For me, it's like I said, Rocky Johnson,
Mhm.
Tony Atlas.
Mhm.
If I have to go back in time a little farther back, definitely Ernie Ladd. Ernie Ladd, the, the man could not only could he work, but he could talk. Definitely Coco for what he taught us, and definitely Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons carried a lot on those big shoulders of his.
Yep. 2 very good lists.
It is. We do top 5 lists, so that's perfect.
Yeah. And one last thing, I personally love right now Swerve Strickland. How do y'all feel about Swerve?
One of my favorites.
Okay.
Could have added one more to it. It would definitely have been Swerve Strickland.
Okay.
I agree.
Oh.
That's
Swerve.
big stuff.
Swerve on it.
That's all I got, Marcus. I don't know if you got some more stuff you want to add on.
Do y'all have anything that y'all want to promote? Matches, social medias? I don't know. Where we can find you? Like you said, grind. You said
I'm always going to promote
TVs.
now, but I'm also going to tell you, go out and support indie wrestling, whether we're on the show or not. There's wrestling in your town. Go check it out. Not only are you going to see future superstars, them just starting out, but it's a great night. I had an old school worker tell me something that stuck with me to this very day. A lot of these towns we go to, we might be that family's only entertainment for the month. People save up for this. So when you go to that curtain, give them your all. Give them everything you got, because you never know. This might be the one big thing that they can do as a family together. And that sticks with me. Just go out and support it and do it. Enjoy yourself. Because I've had so many people never go to a show before, and then you look out in the crowd and they're making the most noise. They're having the most fun. So definitely.
I mean, indie wrestling gets a bad rap as being not good. But there's a lot of quality shows out there, including Grindhouse, including OVW. And just get out there to support these guys. These guys are trying to get, on TV on Monday nights and Friday nights or whatever. They're trying to get there, and they're working hard. They're working their asses off. I mean, we've seen, if we're not actually wrestling, if we're done wrestling for the day or something like that, we watch the rest of the matches and we become fans. And there are a lot of there's a lot of good talent out there.
Definitely.
I did have one more thing. The Smashing Machine. Have y'all watched it yet?
It's one of those. It's on my list.
It's on your list. Okay.
I guess it's funny because everybody always thinks that we constantly watch wrestling. I don't watch a lot of movies to begin with. I'm pretty simple on what I watch. It's either sports, wrestling has background noise, or some show that's dealing with murder. These are my top options of what I normally watch on television.
Murder's definitely a good.
And then lastly, before we got on, shout out y'all sports teams, college, and NFL. Obviously, I don't know your other ones.
College, I'm U of L. I'm U of L all across the board. College wise, NFL, Cowboys.
I went to the University of Louisville, so definitely across the board, I'm a U of L fan. And like it's funniest thing ever, he's a Cowboys fan, and I'm a Steelers fan.
I think that's where they got to fight. Like on their last match, they got to come in like Dallas Cowboys. You feel me? Like it has to be old school.
That's where they're gonna pull the inspiration from.
He's on like hit him with like a Pittsburgh bat or something, and you feel me? It's just something. It'll be something. But no, lastly, since y'all are sports fans, since U of L, how y'all feel about Michael Brown and his recent heater and the U of L basketball team?
The sport is evolving. It's changed so much. I love watching these guys play now, and it's entertaining. It's energetic, but these kids aren't playing for the love of the game. They're playing for these NIL deals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're making
So if
their money now before they even go to the pro.
I think it changed the game. I'm not a big fan of it.
I wouldn't expect that from to get it out the mud guys like y'all, though. You feel me? Y'all ran ropes till y'all threw up, and these kids walk in to $1 million when they step on the court in their pocket. So I feel the same way. That and betting, those two things, oh my gosh, this turns me off more than anything. But nonetheless, for another day. Anything else, Rashad, before I wrap it up?
That was great.
All right.
I'm
Well,
good.
look, we appreciate both of y'all's time. We appreciate you both. Apollo, JB Thunder. Like you said, you can catch them on Grindhouse TV and clips and other matches. HNIC, Head Niggas in Charge. It's been a great episode, man. Two guys who explain that wrestling, you know, it's not what they do, it's who they are. You know, 30 plus years, 3 decades, they've seen it grow through many eras, and these are two guys who got it out the mud, man, who grew up on the old school mentality, and not only that, but just put years and years of just travel and putting it on the line, just really honing the performing arts side of it. And we are very appreciative of y'all hopping on the show. And if there's one thing you can do, like they said, this is for our community. Let's go out. Let's go support indie wrestling anywhere you can, not only here in our local area, but anywhere you listen, man. So this has been an iPod. We appreciate y'all, man. Signing off.
Thank you much.